Have you ever stopped to think about the incredible world that exists inside of you? I mean, really think about it. There's a highway system in there, way more complex than any on Earth, and it's carrying life-sustaining cargo to literally trillions of citizens every single second of every day. So let's do it. Let's dive into this amazing internal world and follow a journey along the most vital river you'll ever know, your own blood.
This quote from Bill Hayes just puts it perfectly. Blood is so much more than just some red liquid. It's our past, it's our present, and it's our future. And it's always moving, always working. And that number, 60,000 miles? Just let that sink in for a second. That's like wrapping a ribbon around the entire planet, more than twice. And all of that is coiled up right inside of you. It's wild.
And here they are. This is our cast of characters. The main hero of our story is that little guy, the red blood cell, the one that looks like a tiny donut. Its whole job is to carry oxygen. But it's not traveling alone. You can see it's got companions, like that bigger, tougher-looking white blood cell. That's our immune system's security guard. And those little fragments? Those are the platelets. They're the emergency repair crew. And get this, each one of these red blood cells makes this entire trip for about 120 days before it gets recycled. It's a never-ending cycle of replacement.
Okay, so what exactly is this river made of? If we were to take a sample and break it all down, what would we actually find in there? Let's get a closer look at what it's all about.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it's kind of the opposite of what you might think. You'd probably guess blood is mostly cells, right? But nope, look at this. A whopping 55% of it is actually something called plasma. That's the liquid part, sort of a yellowish, protein-packed salt water that carries everything else along for the ride. All those cells we just met, they're the other 45%.
And this is a fantastic picture of what that breakdown looks like in real life. If you take a vial of blood and spin it really fast in a centrifuge, all the heavier stuff sinks. So you can see those dense red blood cells packed right at the bottom, that big yellowish layer of plasma floating on top, and what about that tiny little white line in the middle? That's called the buffy coat. It's got all the white blood cells and platelets. It's less than 1% of the total, but man, is it absolutely critical.
Okay, so before we start our big journey, we need to understand the mission. And really, blood has three massive jobs that keep our bodies in that perfect state of balance we call homeostasis. First up, transportation. It's basically a delivery service for oxygen, nutrients, and hormones to trillions of cells. Second, regulation. It's like a thermostat, helping maintain a stable body temperature and pH balance. And third, protection. It clots up to stop us from losing blood, and it carries our immune army to fight off any invaders.
Now, every great river needs a powerful force to keep it flowing, right? Well, for our river of life, that force is an engine of just incredible power and endurance. So let's meet the heart.
Just think about this number for a minute. Over 100,000 times, every single day, this one muscle contracts. That's enough work to pump something like 2,000 gallons of blood daily. It does this without a break, without a single holiday, without ever complaining, for our entire lives. It is the relentless drumbeat that powers our existence. It's just amazing. And here it is, the engine room itself. The heart is made up of 4 chambers. You've got the 2 upper chambers, the right and left atria, which are kind of like the receiving docks for all the incoming blood. And then you have the 2 lower, much more muscular chambers, the right and left ventricles. These are the powerful pumps that send the blood roaring on its way.
So here's the crucial thing to remember. Your heart is really 2 pumps working together in perfect sync. The right side of the heart has a very specific, pretty short distance job. It just pumps blood over to the lungs. But the left side, that's the heavy lifter. It has the much bigger, high-pressure task of pumping that fresh, oxygenated blood to literally every other part of your body.
Okay, so our little red blood cell has just arrived back at the heart, and it's carrying waste from the body. So what's its first mission? It's got to take a quick trip to the lungs to drop off its cargo of carbon dioxide and pick up a fresh supply of that life-giving oxygen.
This slide really shows you just how closely these 2 systems work together. I mean, they're basically partners in crime. The right ventricle, that's our blue pump on the left, it gives a good squeeze and pushes our deoxygenated red blood cells straight into the pulmonary artery, which leads directly next door to the lungs, which you see on the right. They are a team, working together to keep you alive.
So our red blood cell's destination is deep inside the lungs in a place called the respiratory zone. This is where the real magic happens. It's in millions of these tiny little air sacs called alveoli. And if you could flatten out all of these sacs, their surface area would be big enough to cover a whole tennis court. It's right here that our cell lets go of its carbon dioxide and, in the exact same instant, grabs onto a fresh molecule of oxygen. It's just an incredibly efficient swap.
Mission accomplished. Our red blood cell is now bright red, totally loaded with oxygen. But it can't just head out to the body yet. Nope. First, it has to make a quick return trip to the heart to get the powerful push it needs for the long journey ahead.
This slide basically gives us the complete roadmap. We've just finished steps 1, 2, and 3. Our blood, tired from its last trip, entered the right side of the heart, got sent over to the lungs for a refresh, and has now come back, full of oxygen, to the left side of the heart. Now, it's ready for the grand finale. Step 4. This is the moment of truth. The left ventricle, which is the most powerful chamber of the heart, gives one mighty squeeze. It forces our oxygen-rich red blood cell into the aorta, that's the body's biggest artery, launching it at speeds of nearly 1 meter per second. It's a high-pressure journey to deliver that precious oxygen to your brain, your fingertips, and every single cell in between. And you know, once that oxygen is delivered, our red blood cell picks up more carbon dioxide waste, and the entire cycle just starts all over again. And we're not talking about a long, drawn-out trip. From the moment it leaves the heart, our cell can make a full circuit of the body and be back in less than a minute. It's a constant, looping, non-stop journey that really defines our very existence.
So let's just recap the mission one more time. Transporting vital oxygen and nutrients, regulating our internal environment so everything stays stable, and protecting us from harm. This incredible journey that we've just followed, it's being performed by billions of cells, making millions and millions of trips over the course of our lives, all to accomplish these 3 fundamental tasks.
And all of this, the pumping, the exchanging of gases, the delivering of nutrients, it all happens automatically, every single moment of your life, without you ever having to think about it. It's just a perfectly orchestrated ballet of biology going on inside you. So the final question I want to leave you with is this. What does this silent, tireless, and magnificent journey tell us about the sheer wonder of the bodies we all call home?